Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. Why can I hear myself? Testing 1, 2. Let's try that again. Testing 1, 2. Hey, I can't hear myself. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to RRF1 Monday Night Division. I am back after abandoning them all last Monday. I do apologise. And yes, I still have the man flu, still dying, but we are fit and fighting away, ready to go for what is bound to be a very entertaining night this fine evening. Welcome, Woodsy, to the chat. Okay, need a new QR code, fair enough. Yes, we'll get a new one for next week for the RF1 page. Well, as you're probably all aware by now, if you're not in the chat, it should tell you up on screen. It's Spain! It's Fernando Alonso land, and it is the new layout of the Catalunya Grand Prix circuit, where they've got rid of that horrific chicane just before the final corner. And when you get to turn 13, foot flat to the floor if you dare, round 14 all the way down to the turn 1 right-left spinneroony. Have a quick look at the standings because, again, as I imagine we all are aware, the Dark Mark, Mr. Marcus Hall, he who shall not be named, he is the champion of the world. Yes, he is the new champion for RF1 Monday night. The constructors is still up for grabs, so Alpine, can Dark Mark and his teammate Mr. Scott beat me up, Scotty, do the double. That is what everyone will be checking to find out. There's a 48-point gap between them. Red Bull did claw some of those points back a couple of weeks ago, but it looks like last week, whilst I was away, Alpine extended their advantage a little bit over the Red Bull squad. AlphaTauri currently lying third in the constructors, a further 41 points further back. But they did move ahead of McLaren last time. Sorry, they moved ahead of Aston Martin, who dropped 2 places, but both McLaren and AlphaTauri moved up. So the battle for P3 in the constructors, well and truly on fire still. Mercedes not too far back from them. They're down in 6th place in the constructors at the moment on 411 points. With Haas in 7th ahead of the Alfa Romeo team. Williams, and then the people's favourites, the Ferrari team. The Triers, Whitey is racing tonight, of course. And A72M, who I don't believe is racing. I've not seen him in the lobby yet anyway. So Scott isn't racing, but Hayden Elite is reserving an Alpine. Is Hayden Elite a quick driver, Woodsy? That is what I want to know. So Hayden Elite will be in the other Alpine. The 2 Red Bull drivers tonight, you have Ali Fawad Khan, who we know is a very quick driver on his day. And the other one is TSD Apex, who is not in the lobby yet, so unless there's another driver reserving for Red Bull. Yes, so hopefully the visible bump doesn't appear tonight. So in Spain, as you're all aware, before the update today, I don't know what the update did today, it was only a small one. But as you come into the pits, it's caught me out. I have crashed into that pit wall. Actually, if you come into the pits just at the wrong angle, at just the wrong speed, you hit the bump and it flies you into the pit wall. So just be super careful when you're coming into the pits, guys, because I don't want you to suffer the same fate I have suffered. In the Drivers' Championship, as we know, it's actually over for who is the champion, as A72M is in the lobby now, so hopefully Ferrari can get some good points and see if they can make any inroads on Williams ahead of them to not finish the season with that embarrassing wooden spoon. But you've got Ali, who's 53 points clear of Apex, but the battle for P3 in the driver standings is separating just 6 points between the Red Bull, the Haas, and the Alpine of Scott, who isn't racing tonight. You've got Captain Frazzle in one of the Haas's, and Shotgun Kisses in the other one. So I don't think any of the Haas drivers are racing tonight, actually, Atkins or Ransdell. So you have 2 reserves racing for Haas this evening. As people are starting to ready up, have a quick look at the circuit. So, as I'm sure you'll know Spain by now, it's been used in pre-season testing for donkey's years. The only change is it's gone back to how it was in the early 2000s, when it didn't have that silly chicane. Or early to mid 2000s, whenever it changed over to the chicane layout. Obviously, main overtaking opportunity, or one of the only overtaking opportunities, realistically, unless you've got to get a good exit out of 9, is down into turn 1. Obviously, you come off turn 14 now even quicker. And then you've got the long drag down towards turn 1, where most of the overtaking is done. We do see a lot of side-by-side actions as they go through 1, 2 and 3, heading towards that sort of long hairpin of 4, and even into the turn 5 hairpin. Sometimes we do see drivers side-by-side throughout pretty much that whole first sector, and into the start of sector 2. Following that, your next overtaking opportunity is down at turn 10, which is your next DRS zone. So you come off that fast right-hander, try not to bin it into the wall, and then see if you can make a move into that sort of new-ish turn 10. And then again, it's just that long sort of right-hander of 12 before you put your foot to the floor and try it all again for another lap. Just waiting for everybody to ready up, and then we will be good to go. I think there's 17 or 18 drivers in the lobby, so that should mean full qualifying. Yeah, qualifying 1, you can see it there on the screen. So, qualifying 1, we lose the slowest 5 or the slowest 3 if there's 18 drivers. And then the top 15 will go into qualifying 2. Again, we lose the 5 drivers, and then you have the top 10 shootout for qualifying 3 to sort out the top 10 order of the grid. It's a grey day, isn't it? It's very grey. The rain may fall in Spain, as they say. We shall find out. Make sure I've got everything on. No one wanting to make a move just yet. Oh, I see a Red Bull moving there. Is that going to be Ali or Apex? We shall find out in a second. They're removing the tyre blankets. As you can see, it is Apex, in fact. Oh, there's a Haas actually coming out as well. A whole host of cars coming out of the pits now to get their first laps in Q1. Red Bull then out behind the Williams. Funky little helmet. It's almost like Sebastian Vettel-esque, isn't it, with that sort of line down the middle. Anywho, we won't talk about helmets again. Who's our first person round? I think it was a Haas, wasn't it? So is it Captain Frazzle? If my memory serves me correct, a very quick driver. Just what the doctor ordered for the Haas team. Hopefully they can get some good points. I'm not sure I'm aware of TTV Shotgun Kisses. It's a very cool name. But if Haas can get 2 solid point scores today, then they can put themselves right back into the question. Oh, it's raining. It's raining. That's why everyone's running out quickly. They need to get a lap in quickly. There's a couple of cars that have left themselves in the pits, but everyone is out in the pits, and that's because it started to rain. We said the rain will fall in Spain, and here it goes. Shotgun Kisses is from the WAO F1. So it should be pretty clean then. There's a few leagues that sort of get on well with each other. Oh, and a big slide there from Captain Frazzle. to stay on board with him. Just look how tricky the conditions are getting already. I think it will be a case of first across the line is going to get the best conditions here. We've got yellow flag showing. Oh, it's a very brief yellow flag actually. Moves it right out wide to the curb. Yeah, there's a few sort of leagues that sort of worked well together, like WoW F1, RRF1, HRF1, PRF1. They've all got F1 in the name, obviously. I'm sure there's a few others as well. I'm definitely forgetting some. VRF1. Oh no, sorry, V3F1. God, VRF1, that takes me back. A long, long time ago. That was one of the first leagues I ever raced in. Raratron has gone to intermediate tyres already, so he's opting not to come out on the softs. It does look very tricky! And you see Captain Frazzle is fighting to try and keep it in a straight line. Could Raratron have pulled a blinder here? I know it's only qualifying one, but these conditions look absolutely horrific. It depends how quick he was in the first part of the lap when it was trickling to what it is now, and he's going to cross line with a 120.0. We've got Mr. Brannan coming around next. What can he do? Oh, and again, a little bit of a wobble around the final corner. He comes around and does a 121.5. The times are going round quite slowly. There's a Mercedes there. Well off the track. Payelo's a 122.4. Betcher's a 124.9. There's going to be a Red Bull coming across the line to do a 24.5 of Apex. Dark Marks was a 25.0. Yes, the times are just going to get slower and slower. There's a Ferrari of Whitey, I believe, coming across the line. He's going across to do a 1 minute 27.2, and Madmark does a 28.9. Hayden Elite with a 28.2. The times are getting slower and slower. What will Raratron do? He's gone onto the intermediate tyres. Who else is on the lap then? We've got the Ferrari of A72 invalidated and missing his front wing, so it's not worked out for A72. We have 17 drivers, so we'll lose 2 drivers from... oh, he goes off to the gravel there. I think he might just be getting out of the way of a few cars. Yeah, 2 drivers. So Shotgun Kisses and Jarmin are still in the pits. They're choosing not to come out at the moment. And I tell you what, if anyone runs no assists, A72M has just infuriated them by taking out the brake marker boards. And Raratron, what's happened to Raratron? What has happened to Raratron? I don't think Rara is going to pull a blinder here, Tom, because he's just retired. And Brannan has got a 5-place grid penalty for coming into contact with his own teammate. So the 2 Aston Martins have come together in qualifying, meaning Brannan now has a 5-place grid penalty. Well, drama in Spain, thanks to the rain that is causing some pain. I'm a poet, and I did not know it. Let's see who else is on the lap then. It will be A72. Intrigued to find out what happened to Rara, because I didn't see a car stopped anywhere. Unless he's retired in the pits, but that would be an odd decision to make unless he has a qualifying ban. Ah, okay, so Brannan lost it. Well, I think you're the one that got the 5-place grid penalty, so... I would say, based on the current lap times, your teammate, you're both safely through. You had a full wet Qatar. Realistic? Not. Yeah, it doesn't rain much in Qatar. It's sort of a Middle Eastern country where it's really, really hot. So that was unlucky. To be fair, I have done a wet Jeddah before, and that was horrible. Like, just not nice. Baker Gaming is starting an outlap. Tim's is about. Let's see what it's like on intermediates. 1 minute 20.0 is the fastest so far. Oh, and Tim's just doing a little bit of off-roading there. If anyone can let me know what happened to Raratron, that would be much appreciated. Because I thought he was onto a bit of a winner there, but by putting on the intermediates while everyone was struggling out on softs. But yeah, came out and came straight back in. Dartim's a set of purple sector 1, showing that the intermediates might be the right way to go about it here. But again, it looks like it's just going to get wetter and wetter. So again, DRS will be disabled now, so no use of that extra boost to get down the straight. Runs it out wide, trying to get the traction there. But currently needs to be at 1 minute 29.691. Paella Muncher has retired in the pits. He's currently in P3. Doesn't like this time. It's going to trouble the front runners at all. And it is a 23.7 actually, so it wasn't that far off. So the intermediates showing they do appear to be the tyre with pace. I think we had Baker Gaming next, didn't we? So yes, Baker Gaming. Yeah, he will be the next one around, just checking. I think Whitey's actually, the Ferrari's on a lap as well, Whitey. We'll keep an eye on what he's going to do. So a whole host of cars once again out on track on intermediate tyres. No one troubling Captain Frazzle's time at the moment though. Around the final corner he goes. Baker Gaming, what can he do? He's going to come up to the line. Is he going to be safely through? It's going to be a 124.4 to put himself P5 so far. We've got a Mercedes. Darth Timms, he'll be coming into the pits now, I imagine. Oh, well wide there. Into the pits he comes. No death for him. There's an Alpha Tauri coming round next. That might be Find Waldo, who I've just missed. Oh, there he goes. But Find Waldo has gone through with a 23.3. That should see him through nice and safely. Ali Fawad Khan is currently... He's on a 29.6. He must have made a mistake on that lap. We have the Ferrari of A72 coming round. Meanwhile, Whitey's done a 23.4 in the Ferrari. So the intermediate tyres giving some fairly decent pace. But a yellow flag's an AlphaTauri getting out of the way. And Aston Martin coming into the pits of TQC Brannan, not wanting to risk it anymore. He's happy with his 21.5. We've got A72M does a 24.2 to get the other Ferrari into P7. Meanwhile, Baker Gaming is 1.2 seconds up on his time. He's improving here. 24.4 at the moment. It should get him comfortably into the 122s and comfortably through to Q2 if he can just keep it in bounds around the final corner. Doesn't use as much of the road as we've seen some. It's a 22.6. Very good time there from Baker Gaming on the intermediate tyres. I think that's the quickest intermediate run we've had so far. Let's have a look. Yes, Baker Gaming is the fastest on the intermediate tyre so far. But everybody is on the intermediates. Oh, okay. So it's just chosen. So Rara's just chosen to retire. Okay, fair enough. Interesting strategy. Let's see if it pays off. We have Shotgun Kisses. Losing track of who's on the lap. We've got a blue car. There he is. Hayden Elite, what can he do? Currently on the bubble in P13 with a 28.2. Needs to find some time and does with a 24.4. Puts himself up to P10. May not be safe with that time because the intermediate tyres do appear to have some decent pace here around Spain. We've got the Ferrari of A72 who's up on his time at the moment. He goes across the line. Does not improve unless he's invalidated. We've got the Haas of Captain Frazzle starting a lap. Or is he on a lap? Sorry. Yeah, he's on a lap already. Oh, and round he goes, and Frazzle is out. Frazzle, the fastest man in Q1, has risked it for a biscuit. And unfortunately, the biscuit crumbled. I don't think he needs to go out again. I think that was an unnecessary risk from Captain Frazzle, and he has put it in the wall in qualifying one. He had a huge advantage, a 1.5 second advantage over the next fastest driver. We'll see what his teammate can manage. His teammate's on the lap now. Stay on board with shotgun kisses, and we'll watch people as they come across the line. Well, drama for Haas. They look like they have the pace to do well here in Spain. And Captain Frazzle has well and truly binned it into the barriers. That could help Raritron get through, you know. Jarmin is not coming out of the pits. I wonder if he's going to be able to put his setup on. I know he was running late. So, Shotgun Kisses comes across the line through a 23.5 and put his Haas into P8 for now. We have Bakey Gaming, who's a second down in this time. Is he going to come into the pits? No, he's not, but he's going for another lap. I think he's been saving his ERS up for another push. We have a Red Bull coming through next. No, coming into the pits. We've got Alpine of Darkmark. He does a 22.0 to go P4 overall. It's just behind Apex at the moment. Again, let's have a look at the best time at the moment. So Ali is now the quickest on the inters, the 21.6. Just half a tenth off Brannon, who did his time on the softs. And then you've got Apex and the Dark Mark as your next fastest qualifiers. You've got, is it Hayden Elite? Nope. It was Mad Mark coming through, so Mad Mark's about to start a lap actually. Betches is also starting a lap, he's just come out of the pits. So who have we got next? Is it Hayden? It is, but he's 7 seconds down, so it looks like he may have had a moment. Big Perry has joined just in time. So if he can get into his car quickly, then he can get out and get a lap in. Oh, so Brandon said if you retire, new update, you are out. So if you retire in the pits, are you out then? So if you say, let's say you do your lap and you're fast enough to go through and you think I don't need to set another lap and you retire in the pits, are you out of qualifying then? Because that was a terrible update if that's true, because that's going to make qualifying last a lot longer now. Not a fan of that if that's true. Oh, okay, I get you. So who's on a lap then? We'll stay with Darth Timms actually, currently in P11. I do believe everybody will be through then. So Big Perry needs to get a lap on board, as does Jarmin. Big Perry, I think, is coming out the pits as we speak. On track, you out. I think that's always been the case, hasn't it? If you die on track in qualifying, then that's it. Your qualifying's over. So Captain Frazzle will start P15 in this race now. Raritron is out of qualifying. Meanwhile, Darth Timms stays P11 with a 23.7. We've got Mad Mark's coming out again. No, he's coming into the pits. Betches is going for a lap now. 13 people tuning in so far, so thank you all for watching and supporting RRF1 on this cold and chilly Monday evening. So what Betches can do in the mighty Williams. Yellow flag ahead. That is a Mercedes going slowly. And Betches has run out of road there. And just runs it off onto the gravel. He's going to have a Ferrari coming behind him pretty soon, who's also going quite slowly behind. So we joined Betches at the wrong time then, didn't we? So who should we go on board with now? I think let's give the Platypus a bit of airtime. So joined late. He's going to have one shot at this. Well, potentially two, depending on how quickly he can get around. But realistically, one shot with the full tank of ERS. He's had no laps to get his eye in either with this wet condition, so he's had to jump straight in. We'll see how good his wet weather prowess is. Heading to turn 4, and Big Perry is purple in Sector 1, so it's a good start for Big Perry. Looking like a good lap so far. He's keeping it well within track limits. looking nice and smooth. He's not running too wide. Puts the apex on the inside there. Gets onto the power nice and early. Drops down again to the fast right-hander in the wet. And foot flat to the floor. No DRS, of course, in the wet. And now it's this newish long left-hander. Yellow flag for the Ferrari behind, just travelling slowly. Two corners to go for Big Perry. What can he manage? Can he get that AlphaTauri into Q2? It's looking like a good lap so far, and it's going to be a 1 minute 21.7 immediately with one attempt. Gets himself into the top 3 on the intermediate tyres. Good at the lap there from Big Perry. We have a Ferrari coming round next, which I believe is A72M coming into the pits. It is indeed. Darth Timms is down on his time, so I imagine, is he going to pile in, or no, he's going to go for another lap. We have Betches on a lap. Here's a Red Bull right behind him. Oh! Not ideal. Was the Red Bull on a lap? That would have been Ali. He was on a lap, and he does improve to go fastest anyway. So Ali gets the new fastest time and the fastest of all the intermediate runners. And he's now got Betches AI behind him, so that's fine. Hayden Elite is a 10th up at the moment, but he is safe, but he's just getting some practice, and I imagine ready for Q2. And I believe that will be it for Q1. So we will lose Raratron, who retired in the pits, Gaming Minion, who didn't set a time, and Jarmin, who didn't set a time. Hopefully they were able to get their setups on. So we've got an almost full grid, 19 drivers. Great turnout for RRF1. It's good to see. So Hayden Lee gets through in 10th place. We'll do a rundown of the fastest and slowest of qualifying 1 before we head into Q2. So Ali Fuad Khan in the Red Bull. Perfect for Red Bull with finishing 1st and 4th. They've got the pace here. Obviously, this is only Q1, but that is a good sign for them heading into the race. TQZ Brannan didn't do an intermediate timed lap. He just used softs, as did Paella Muncher. He was 2nd fastest ahead of Big Perry. TSD Apex, the Dark Mark, of course, the new champion. Paella Muncher, Baker Gaming, Whitey, Find Waldo, and Hayden Elite. You then have Shotgun Kisses, A72M, Darth Timms, Mad Mark, and Captain Frazzle. Now, Captain Frazzle did do a 20.0 on the soft tyres, which would have put him around P4, but unfortunately binned it on his intermediate lap. Betches is out of qualifying. And then, obviously, Raratron, Gaming Minion, and Jarmin are also out. So, Q2 coming up next. Who's got the... it looks even wetter. I wonder if it's just going to keep getting wetter and wetter as the session progresses. Everyone's staying on intermediate tyres for now. We'll see who is the first one to make a move. See, if it's going to dry up towards the end of Q2, then we could see no movement at all. Hayden Elite's already put soft tyres on. There's a Red Bull moving and a Ferrari moving in the pits that I can see. An Aston Martin, which will be Paella Muncher, is it? It is indeed. So Paella Muncher will be the first one out. Paella, of course, a very tasty dish in Spain. Muncher, of course, signifies someone who just wolfs their food down. So I'm guessing Paella Muncher likes his paella, which is very apt considering we're in Spain. Very apt indeed. Ali has 40 seconds to add on to this race. Jesus Christ. How would you get 40 seconds? 25 for rage last week and 15 for penalty point triggers. Jesus Christ, you might as well just give him a race ban. 40 seconds, that's insane. But rules are rules, don't break them. So Ali, who's looking very quick for Red Bull, does have 40 seconds sweat on at the end, so he's going to need to go some in the race to get that gap. But we'll keep our eye on his progress throughout the race. Okay, so we are going to get ready for a paella hot lap in Espanol. Into turn uno. Down the gears. Turn dos. Turn tres. Got to do Spanish and numbers. Needs to channel in a Max tonight. Max of this season or Max of, 2021 and before, where he just drives into people? I mean, both would work, I guess. Though he might gain more penalties doing, pre-regulation change Max. Betches, you'll finish. You'll do well. Hopefully it dries out for the race for you. Paella Munch up the hill. Doesn't drop down to 5th like we've seen a few guys doing. It looks like he's got a little more confidence on those intermediates. Nice, and hugs the apex there. This is looking good from Paella Munch. A very quick driver is Paella Munch. I do race him on a Sunday and he's super quick. Keeps it out wide, close to the brake marker board, the 50. Round the final corner. This is looking good from Paella Munch. Comes across the line to do 1 minute 21.418. Good start then from Paella Muncher. We've got Dartmark with a 21.7 to go 3/10 further back. What can Mad Mark manage? He does a 23.3 in the Williams. We've got a Ferrari of A72 coming through next, followed by a Red Bull. He does a 23.2. Apex of 22.1. As he comes through, we have a Dartin to 24.0, and then Ali Fawad Khan, he goes faster to 21.1. Such a shame that he's got that big penalty, because he is showing some excellent pace tonight here in Spain, as the other Ferrari driver comes through, Whitey, with a 22.6. Hayden Elite in the Alpine comes through the 22.2, just a tenth, 4 or 5 tenths off his teammate. McLaren of Baker Gaming came through then. He's done a 22.7. We've got Shotgun Kisses on a lap. Can he get his Haas through into Q3? Both Haas cars will not be in Q3, as I very stupidly predicted, as Captain Frazzle did the honourable thing, binned it on the intermediates. And Shotgun Kisses are 27.3, not the best lap for Shotgun Kisses, as Brannon is on a lap. See what he can do. He's purple in Sector 2 at the moment. But we know from Formula 1 games that a purple Sector 2 means absolutely diddly squat. I believe it just means he's faster than P10 in that sector when it comes up in the Sector 2 purple. At least that's what it was in the last game anyway. Second operation. Okay. Well, hopefully, it says Brannon comes through the 20.4. Remember, he has a 5-place grid penalty after contact with his own teammate in Q1. But he has got some excellent 7/10 clear of the next fastest driver on the intermediate conditions. I think we've got the other McLaren coming around again. So what's he going to improve to? A 22.0, puts himself P6. Got Find Waldo starting a lap. Big Perry did a 21.9 when he went through. So who else have we got that's on a flying lap at the moment? Is Brannon going again? Nope, he's 11 seconds down. Big Perry, is he going again? We'll see when he comes through the second sector split. Looks like he's pushing. He's half a second up almost. So he is on a push lap. Second runs will give better results. TQZ is right there. Oh, he's on a new tyre. Okay, fair enough. So everyone on used tyres, but Brannon was on new ones. Okay, fair enough. That would explain the gap. Big Perry then does a 21.3 to put himself P3 overall for now. We've got A72. Oh, can't park there. That is a wall. That is a white concrete wall. And he is trying his best to get out of the wet grass. And a nice little slip road there, but oh, he's on the old bit of the track now. Oh, and now he's not. Oh, we could have seen someone do the old bit of the track there. That would have been cool. So into the pits he comes. Looks like he's missing part of his front wing there, so A72 having a bit of a moment, it looks like. Shotgun Kiss is 8 seconds down, so he's not on a push lap. Looks like he's building up ready for another run. Let's see what Big Perry's doing. He's 3/10 up again, so he's improving again. Is the track starting? Has it stopped raining actually? I think it has stopped raining. Could we be? Could everyone now be getting ready for soft tyres? So the rain has stopped. Could we see some dry running before the end of Q2? We may just get. Did you take out that brake marker board there? I've seen people get really close to that brake marker board as they go for a wide entry into the final corner. Around the corner he comes then. It's a 1 minute 20.6 to go second overall. That lap from Brandon looking really strong, considering it was a little bit wetter when he did his lap. Although Big Perry's tyres are 4 laps old now. Mad Mark is on an out lap. Is anybody on a lap? Whitey's just started one. Find Waldo's on a lap. Let's see what he can manage. He's done a 25.0 so far, but I think he was about 3 seconds down when I saw that before. I think he's building his ERS up again. So Find Waldo will go again. Shotgun Kisses is 6/10 of a second up. Now Shotgun Kisses didn't show this pace in the first part of qualifying, but he's certainly showing it now. What can he do in the final sector? He was about 6/10 up when we saw the last split. Can he gain any more time and really trouble the front two of Brandon and Big Perry in Q2? Final corner then. I said the track is ramping up as it gets a little bit drier as they clear the water. It's a 20.2 and Shotgun Kisses finds a load of time in the final sector. It's definitely getting drier. I think we may well see some people risk the soft tyres. In fact, we are doing, because Paella Muncher is out on the softs. See, there is a dry line, but to me that still looks a bit wet. That still to me looks a little bit too wet for softs. But these guys are all a little bit more knowledgeable than me when it comes to strategy calls and what tyres to be on at the right time. Ooh, we can see almost drifting around the penultimate corners. Whiter's a 19.9 on the intermediates. It's getting quicker and quicker. Still no DRS, but we'll see what Paella Muncher can do now on the soft tyres. DRS enabled. So we do have DRS now. He didn't get it in time to start his lap, but he will get a second helping of it when he comes through the middle sector. Find Waldo then at 19.2. Everyone's going quicker. Whitey in second. A Ferrari, second fastest. Loving this. So Paella Muncher on those soft tyres. Currently on a 121.4. We did that early on the Inters. 14 of you tuned in now, so thank you all for tuning into this up and down qualifying session, which is so hard to predict at the moment. We've had dry to wet Q1, wet to dry Q2. What does Q3 hold? That is the question. And can Paella Muncher get himself through into Q3? He went onto the softs early, which may be a bit of a gamble because the track will continue to dry and continue to get better, so we will not have the best tyres for the best conditions when it comes to it. But he is a quick driver, and he drifts it around the penultimate corner. Plenty of skill on show here from Paella Muncher. What can he do is he comes across the line to do 1 minute 19.298 and goes second fastest. So the intermediate tyre at the moment still fractionally the quicker tyre, but now that DRS has been enabled, you do feel that the soft tyre may well be a little bit quicker. It's A72 coming across the line, and A72 on the intermediates was an 18.5, so the Inter's still clearly the quicker tyre. As Darth Timms is starting a lap, he's gone on to soft tyres now. It's definitely looking drier. has Paella made a mistake by going onto the softs that early, or will he have time to pit and get out on a fresh set? Or is he going to take a lap to save some ERS and just go again on the worn softs? Has he got the pace to do that? It's anyone's guess at the moment. It's a very interesting top 5 with a 2 Ferraris in the top 5 at the moment. Great to see. But yeah, we're staying with Darth Timms at the moment. Although there is an Aston Martin. Ooh, well off track there from Paella Muncher. So clearly not enjoying the track conditions at present as he gets rid of all that gravel. The Ferrari goes steaming past him. Yeah, look how dirty those tyres are now. 45% ERS, so he's not saved much ERS in this lap, so he's going to have to come in, pit and put some fresh tyres in. You can see the Ferrari ahead. Oh, and the Ferrari round it goes. The Ferrari loses it there. Let's go back on to Darth Timms then, who is on a lap. Round the final corner comes Darth Timms. This is looking like a good time so far, and it's a 1:17.0. Yep, the soft tyres have arrived, ladies and gentlemen. It's 1.5 seconds quicker than the Ferrari. There is a Red Bull coming through next. I think that's Ali. He's 1.7 seconds up at the moment. That's not Ali, sorry. It's TSD Apex who's just started a lap. This is Ali, who's just starting his lap, and he's 1.7 seconds up to the first sector. So stay with Ali then, the man with the 40-second time penalty. I don't think I've ever seen anyone start a race with a 40-second time penalty before. Tell you what, if he manages to get a podium from that, then he will be my driver of the day, regardless of what anybody else does, because that would be insane. So looking very good so far is Ali. A lot of drivers starting their flying laps. Paella Muncher in the pits in the Aston Martin. And there we go, Ali with a 14.1, almost 3 seconds clear. Baker Gaming is starting a lap. Shotgun Kisses is starting a lap. And then you have the Mercedes of Darth Timms, who was up on his time and does improve to a 16.7. So he's 2.6 seconds behind Ali at the moment. Apex on the lap, he's 5.5 seconds up. This is going to be a quick time from Apex, and it is a 13.6. The track is getting quicker and quicker. Fine Waldo is about to start his final run. We've got Mad Mark on a lap. He's 3.7 seconds up at the moment. More drivers starting laps as we speak as well. We've got the Dark Mark on a lap. Hayden Elite on an out lap. We'll stay on board with Mad Mark. What can he do? Can he get that Williams into Q3? Round the final corner he comes. And he comes across the line to a 14.2. Puts himself P3 overall. A great chance for himself to get through. Brannon is starting a lap. We've got a Ferrari coming round next. They're both on out laps. We've got a Red Bull. They'll probably be peeling off into the pits now, I imagine. Oh no, they're going through still. McLaren then of Baker Gaming has improved to a P4 with a 15.2 from Baker Gaming. Cars coming through thick and fast as Shotgun Kisses goes P2 with a 13.7. We've got the Mercedes of Darth Timms coming through now. He improves to a 15.5 but stays P6. We've got a Red Bull coming into the pits. Then we've got an Alpha Tauri coming through. I think that will be Big Perry. No, it won't. It will be Find Waldo. So Big Perry hasn't set the timer screens alight just yet, but he is on a lap as we speak. He's just started one. Find Waldo does a 13.8 to go P3 overall. As the Dark Mark goes fastest with a huge time at 12.4. 1.2 seconds clear of TSD Apex. That is a statement from the champion right there. Hayden Elite, can he get the other Alpine up there as well? Can we have both Alpines through? Going to go across the line to a 13.3. It's an Alpine 1-2 in Q2. We have, who's coming through next? Mad Mark into the pits. The Ferraris, who were looking very good before, are now both languishing in 10th and 12th. We've got Whitey coming around next. He's currently on a 119.9. He improves to a 13.7 to go P4. Ali does a 12.3 to edge out the Dark Mark. We've got cars flying through here. Paella Muncher with a 12.4. The other Aston Martin of Brannon finally coming through. What can he manage? He's invalidated, and that is Brannon out of qualifying. It has not gone to plan for the other Aston Martin. Darth Tim's coming through. He was up on his time, but he's coming to the pits at 15.5. The track has really ramped up at the end here, and we have, is it Find Waldo? I think that is it for qualifying, yes. So, a very up and down qualifying, and that is it. Q2 is done and dusted. A couple of, well, a big name there of Brannan, who is looking very quick, and is carrying a 5-place grid penalty, so he will start from the back of the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix. Because he didn't get a lap in. He left it late to put on the soft tyres, went round and invalidated, and that is the risk you run. So he will start from the back. Ali with the fastest time, with not much ERS to play with either, it would appear, on his lap. So, 2 very unpredictable qualifying sessions so far. How will that leave us with Q3 coming up next? We'll go through now the standings of Q2. So it is the Red Bull fastest with Ali ahead of the Dark Mark, who put in a great lap near the end, ahead of Paella Muncher. Hayden Elite, the other Alpine, in 4th, so good representation from Alpine. TSD Apex is second of the Red Bulls in 5th, ahead of Whitey's Ferrari. So one of the Ferraris has got through. Big Perry in the AlphaTauri got through in P7 ahead of Shotgun Kisses. Find Waldo, so 2 AlphaTauris are through. And then Mad Mark scrapes through as well in P10. We lose A72, Bakey Gaming, Darth Timms, and Brannan. And of course, we'd already lost Captain Frazzle. As Brannan was unable to get time on his soft tyres at the end with his invalidation, and Frazzle, of course, DNF'd in Q1. So, top 10 shootout is next. If anyone in the chat has any predictions, because, God, if I know, after what Q1 and Q2's gone. Ali Seton looking very quick indeed, so he's going to be up there. Paella Muncher is always up there in every qualifying session I seem to be involved in with him, so he should be up there. Dartmart looking quick. Big Perry is always pretty quick. Find Waldo is a quick driver. I mean, there's so many drivers here who could throw their name into the hat for to steal a pole position. But I'm going to stick my neck out and say this is going to be a pole for Paella Muncher. That is no pressure, but that is my prediction. And Paella Muncher is the first one out as well. So let's go on board with the commentator's cursed driver, number 88, Paella Muncher. Lovely, gorgeous green Aston Martin. I do like the Aston Martin. Not keen on their drivers, but I like the car. Shouldn't really say that in Spain, should I? But there's always a thing. If you were a Michael Schumacher fan, as I am, then you are not. Then you cannot like Fernando Alonso. So that is where I stand on that, Mr. Spaniards. So everyone now out, apart from Ali, who's still in the pits. Everybody else out on track. A huge traffic jam at the middle of Sector 2 there. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars all very close together. They're going to have to space themselves out before the end. There's a Ferrari of Whitey running pretty close behind. Where is he? No, not that close. Oh, there he is. So, say with Paella Muncher then. Or as they say in Spain, Paella. Paella Muncher. Me llamo Paella Muncher. Which means my name is Paella Muncher. Through into turn 1 and 2. The rear always wants to just step out around these corners and you've got to just keep it pinned. Balance the throttle with the turn in for the quickest route through. Into turn 4. Runs a little bit deep there, but it's not too bad. You can carry the speed if you take the wider line. And here you do want to be nice and tight. Just touches the white line, runs it out to the curb, which is fine. You can get good traction on the curb here, unlike some tracks. Then how much curb does he dare take on the inside? None at all. Just runs a little bit wide. But again, it's all about this corner and carrying the speed. Up into 7th gear now as you head DRS wide open into the newish long hairpin. Looking good from Paella Muncher so far. Final two corners then for Paella Muncher. What can he do as he comes across the line? Just lose a bit of speed on the final corner there, but he's going to come across the line to a 111.7. White is going to come across the line, and he does a 113.6. We do have the AlphaTauri of Big Perry, who's invalidated. Shotgun Kisses will be next then across the line. What can he do? Can he trouble Paella Muncher at the front? He does a 1 minute 12.9 to go P2 overall. We've got Mad Mark goes through with a 13.1. Meanwhile, the Dark Mark goes through with a 112.3. Then the other AlphaTauri of Fine Waldo comes across the line to do a 111.9. So Fine Waldo, the closest one to Paella Muncher at the moment. We've got the Red Bulls coming through. TSC Apex is a 112.7, and Ali, where's Ali? Oh, Ali's just started a lap, sorry. So that leaves us with, that is everybody's first runs, apart from, although Big Perry is going again actually. Of course he invalidated his first attempt. Not much DRS left, down to 35%. Should have enough to, that should be plenty to get through to the end though. Runs it out. Oh, runs it out wide and then just kicks the rear end out as he gets on the loud pedal. Evening Bakey Gaming, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing good. Unlucky with the way Q2 went. It was a very unpredictable qualifying session, but hopefully find your way through in the race. Big Perry then comes through with a 112.4. Shotgun Kiss is coming into the pit, so it's just Ali then. What can Ali do? It's looking like at the moment like Ali may be the one to beat after the first two qualifying sessions. That is a good time from Paella Muncher on his first attempt. Ali then comes, oh, and just loses the rear bit there as he touches the curb. What can he do as he comes across the line? It's going to be a 1 minute 11.751. It's 0.04 of a second quicker than Paella Muncher. Hayden Lee into the pits, and I believe that is it for everyone's first runs. So we'll see if anyone else, we'll see who comes out to try and do 3 runs in Q3. Usually people will do 2 runs. They'll do a first run, depending on how long the track is, of course. But I don't think people will get 3 runs in here. There's a Ferrari coming out actually, so this Ferrari's going to be our first person round next. So Whitey going for his second run early. Nobody else stirring in the pits at the moment, and the AlphaTauri, what's happened there? Ooh, something has happened. I think he's out of fuel. I think Big Perry's out of fuel. He's struggling to get back to the pits. We'll go on board with Whitey when he starts his lap, but that is the slowest moving Formula 1 car around Spain I think I've ever seen. Ah, unlucky Bakey. Yeah, a few guys there. Certainly the changing conditions and the track has caught a couple of people out tonight. We've seen a couple of dropouts that we wouldn't have expected. And Big Perry has made it back to the pits. He can fuel up, get a bit of fuel in that car, and go again. So then let's go on board with Whitey. Exits the final corner, currently 10th out of 10 with a 13.6. Can he find more time on his second run and try and challenge some of the guys up ahead? And he's found quite a bit of time. He's half a second away from the next best time, which is Mad Mark in P9. So with that yellow helmet, the design he's got almost looks like... I was going to say Felipe Massa, but his helmet was like a blue colour with yellow, wasn't it? So I'm way off the mark there. Valentino Rossi-esque, isn't it? Let's go with that. Well, no pressure, Bakey, then, but I want to see McLaren do well. So get that papaya machine into the top 10. So Whitey through the second split and is 7/10 up at the moment, so he's looking to be around Shotgun Kisses time, which would put him in P7, P8 around there. What can he do in the final sector? He's certainly found time on this lap though. Ferrari looking good then. Keeps it nice and straight, no sign of a wiggle. Around the final corner he comes across the line to do 1 minute 12.5 and puts himself P6, manages to go ahead of TSD Apex. We have Find Waldo on an outlap. So Mad Mark's on a lap, isn't he? So let's go on with Mad Mark, who's found a couple of tenths already. We saw Whitey get a big improvement and to do a 112.5 and put himself up to P6 so far in the Ferrari. What can Mad Mark manage? Baker Gaming, see, listen to Mr. Woodsy. You are in a title race on Saturdays. My money's on Baker Gaming. Let's put a commentator's curse on everybody else apart from Baker Gaming. Oh dear. So Mad Mark runs a little bit wide there, but manages to keep it within track limits, using all of the track and more. Round the final corner he comes then. What can he do? 1 minute 12.629, just behind Whitey. Puts himself P7 overall. Who are we going to have next on a lap? It's going to be Find Waldo. So this is what the first of the top three, who are the only drivers to get to the 111s on their first runs. Can he challenge Ali and Paella at the front? There's just 2.5 tenths splitting the top three at the moment. Keeps it nice and tight there around the first few corners. This is looking like a solid start to the lap from Find Waldo. Purple in sector 1, almost a tenth. Oh, and a big slide! Big slide from Find Waldo, and he's backed right out of that. He'll save his DRS, and he'll have to go again. But a huge slide and a good save. Good save there, has to be said. Mad Mark is, I don't think he'll be going again. Apex looks like he's going again. Currently on a 112.7, so he's on his second flying lap now, with 2 minutes to go. AlphaTauri there getting well out of the way, good to see. Seen a few drivers, I'm not sure if drivers are just running a bit deep there or they're avoiding that curb on purpose, so it can unsettle the car. That curb on the left hand side, just as you start to climb up the hill through that sort of flippy flop bit. Half a second up at the moment for TSD Apex, purple in sector 2. This will put him around Dark Mark's time, maybe a little bit quicker. Tell you what, TSD Apex, if he can keep this rate of improvement going, could challenge P3 here. See what he does. He comes across the line. 1 corner to go. How much more time has he found in the final sector? DRS wide open. Can he get into the 11s? It's a 1:11.9, and he does beat Find Waldo by just 0.02 of a second to put his Red Bull into P3. Big Perry is starting his lap now. Find Waldo has gone again, so we'll see what Find Waldo can do. Everyone else is on outlaps. Purple through sector 1 for Find Waldo. He's found that time he found before. Hopefully no more. Oh, that was close to invalidation. Runs it right out to the white line, using as much of the track as possible. Hits that curb on the left-hand side, hits it on the right-hand side. He's throwing everything at this lap is Find Waldo. There's a yellow flag, and that's a Haas, I think, just slowing down to get out of the way. We'll go through the second sector split. We'll see how much time he's found. He's 0.07 of a second up. He needs to find a couple more tenths in this final sector to stop Paella or Ali getting the pole position in Spain, or at least provisionally. 1 more corner to go. Sorry, 2 corners to go. Remember, his tyres have already done a lap, or half a lap in anger. Around the final corner he goes. Can he get himself back ahead of Apex at least? It's a 1:11.8. He can. P3 for Find Waldo. We have Ali, who is just starting a lap. We have the other AlphaTauri of Big Perry coming across the line. What can he manage? No improvement for Big Perry. He's a 12.4. We've got the Haas of Shotgun Kisses starting a lap. So our next person across the line is going to be the Dark Mark. So Dark Mark, 2 tenths up at the moment. Needs to find just over half a second to get ahead of Ali. So we'll see what he does as he comes through the second sector split. We're on board with the champion now. He's half a tenth up at the moment. So at the moment he's going to be staying P5, but there are people behind him who may improve. We lost a 1/10.5 through that middle sector. Can he gain that back in the final sector? He needs to find just over 3 tenths if he wants to beat TSD Apex. Across the line he comes. It's a 1:12.1. He does find time in the final sector, but that middle sector let him down a little bit, and he will stay P5. But we have Whitey coming across the line. He finishes with 12.5. Ali goes through within a 1:11.4. Paella Muncher backs out. He wasn't improving. Find Waldo comes into the pits. What Shotgun Kiss is doing, he's not up on his time for the first 2 sectors. In fact, he's at just under 200 of a second down. Comes across the line, and it's a 112.764. He stays P10, and Ali obliterates the field with a 111.4 to take pole position here in Spain. That's job 1 done for Ali. Job 2 is win by 40 seconds, which is obviously a little bit more difficult. What have I missed out on? Biggest shock, Captain Frazzle was looking like he was going to be fastest in Q1. It started to rain. He came out on inters when he probably didn't need to, and then binned it. So we lost Ali. The 2 Aston Martins had a little coming together in Q1. So Brannan has a 5-place grid penalty, and then didn't get a soft tyre run in Q2 when it dried up. He invalidated and went out. So he will start from P19. Let's do a quick rundown of the order then. So Ali starts P1 with Paella Muncher alongside him as he bailed out of his final lap. Fine Waldo had a big save on his final flying run before going again on worn tyres. Starts P3 ahead of TSD Apex. Those are your 4 drivers that got into the 111s. Dark Mark starts P5 ahead of Big Perry. Whitey starts P7 ahead of Hayden Elite. Mad Mark gets himself up into P9, and then Shotgun Kisses in the Haas gets into P10. Never say never, Ali. Never say never. Well, tell you what I will say, fair play for turning up and racing. I've been in leagues before where people have been given these sort of post-race penalties to get carried over to the next race, and they just sort of throw the toys out of the pram and think, no, I'm not racing, I'm not doing it, it's not fair, and then they give up the seat. So fair play, because a 40-second time penalty, that's a penalty. It's a little bit of time. I mean, it's more than half a lap around here. So, yeah, well played. I've got to say well done for turning up and still carrying on. At the end of the day, it's a game, and although you might not get the result at the end, you're bound to still have a good race. And I'm sure it's going to be an enjoyable one for you. Yeah, and that's fair play. You owned up to it, and that's all we can ask for. RF1, they've got some good guys here. And if you've got some good drivers, and at the end of the day, if you make a mistake up, hold your hands up. That's all you can do. I've made mistakes before. You hold your hands up, and you say, "Look, I cocked up. Didn't mean to smash him into turn 1. Take the penalty like a man and move on." So I said that in Q1, John, and I was wondering whether you would get to pick a setup or not. I wasn't sure, because obviously you didn't actually get a chance to get out and do a lap. Oh, that's Woodsy. That's definitely Woodsy. Or is that Gunners? Whoever's taken over RF1 streams, thank you for that. That is, yes, correct. The world's biggest bottle job. Woodsy, yeah, thanks. So for those that don't know, I don't even know what game it was on now. I think I was leading. I was on for a win. So Russia, not a very good track in real life. However, on the game, was my track. Was one of my best tracks, one of my favourite tracks. I just had really good rhythm around there. When you get a track where you just get a good rhythm round and it just feels good. That was my track, Russia. And I always had a good result there, and I was doing well, and I was leading. We were under safety car. The safety car comes in. Massey sets the pace, gets ready to put his foot down, gets ready to go. It's the penultimate corner. The pit entry is on his right-hand side. What does Massey do? Puts his foot down, spins the car, and blocks the pit entry. From P1. One of the biggest bottle job moments I think I've ever had. And I'd forgotten about it until Woodsy very kindly reminded everybody. So yeah. Cheers for that. I guess one thing you could do, Jarmin, it's Spain, and a balanced setup around Spain is probably not too far away from what, I guess, wings... I don't know what the wings are in a balanced setup, but I imagine it's not too far off. I mean, you could probably lower your front wing a little bit. What else can you change in your setup? Your diff. You can probably lower your diff a little bit because I think the balance setup probably has a higher diff setting. Tire pressures, lower your tire pressures. Brake balance or bias, whatever it's called. What else could you change on a balance setup? So front wing, brake bias, or on diff. There's much. Oh, tire pressures. I don't think there's much else you can change actually. But it's not the worst track to have a balanced setup. To be fair, if you were at Monza and you had a balanced setup, you'd be in trouble. Baku, you'd be in trouble. Although you'd be pretty handy around the corners, but you'd be sitting duck on the straight. Monaco, I imagine a balanced setup is pretty horrific at. You're not going to make many of those corners. Tell us what you're currently Netflix watching. What I'm Netflix watching? I mean, at this very moment in time, I'm not watching anything. I'm too busy to get my Netflix up, which I probably shouldn't be doing. Last to first for Brandon, he says. That's the challenge. What I am doing at the moment, Jarmin, although it's not Netflix, it's on my dodgy box. I have started watching Game of Thrones again. I am waiting very patiently, and have been waiting very patiently, for Reacher Season 2. What I will be binging on Netflix, and laugh at me and judge me all you like, people, because it is more of a girly program. But I am not going to lie, I enjoyed the hell out of it. Emily in Paris is back. Emily in Paris is coming back soon. Yes, I've watched the Braun documentary. Oh, Mad Mark's been kicked. 1 second. Where's Mad Mark? I've dropped you an invite, Mark. You might not be able to take over your car until after lights out, so maybe just avoid the carnage and then take over. I don't know how it works on this game. I've never been kicked before this. But yes, I've watched the Braun documentary. Let's have a look at my... Oh, what's that? Obliterated. Just put my Netflix on, and a new series has just popped up. It's called Obliterated. What's that? They're the best of the best and tackling a risky mission. But when duty calls while they're partying hard in Vegas, can they sober up and save the day? That sounds awesome. I love Vegas. That's going to be my next program that I'll probably binge. That's just shown up. Other than that, I've started watching the Squid Game The Challenge, which is real people doing the Squid Games, but with no death involved. Mad Mark has left the session again. I've dropped you another invite, Mark. Okay, so let's get ready for the start. We'll talk binge-worthy programs again shortly. Yeah, lobby reset would be perfect for you, gentlemen. Ali and Find Waldo got disqualified, so they can't park their cars. Yeah, Obliterated. That looks like a good program to watch. I'll be watching that. Oh, and I watched Loki as well. Anyway, back to racing. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. It's 5 lights. Lights out, sorry, and away we go here in Spain. who has got the best start here? Mad Mark has managed to rejoin. Mad Mark going backwards, unfortunately for him. And we have some side-by-side action through turn 1 already. A bit of a wobble in the background there. Mad Mark heading backwards. Everyone trying to avoid his AI car at the moment. There's a Haas car and a Red Bull going side-by-side. That is Apex. No, in fact, that was Apex aiming for Dark Mark there. I think Dark Mark has got the move done on Apex. And they see there him, Dark Mark, trying to fend off Shotgun Kisses. Captain Frazzle is up to P8 already. Remember, he started down in P15. And he's up into P8 behind his teammate. So Captain Frazzle showing the pace we knew he'd have. Meanwhile, Ali has already, looks like he's got a little bit of a gap there on Paella Muncher. In the background there, I think that was a McLaren going side by side with Mad Mark, and round the outside he goes of Mad Mark, who looks like he's back in his car now. Meanwhile, Brannan from 19th is up to P11. So good start from Brannan and Frazzle, two quick drivers who unfortunately had disappointing qualifying sessions. Ali, fastest lap of the race so far, has, let's hopefully the timings update themselves sooner rather than later. We've got Jarmin looking for a move on Mad Mark as well now. So Jarmin in the mixed setup. Brannan is up to P10 ahead of Whitey. And through there goes Jarmin in that balanced setup. So good start from Jarmin as well. Something's happened to Brannan there. So Brannan has lost some places as he goes back behind Whitey and Raritron. Oh, there's contact there. I didn't see what started it, but Raritron and a Ferrari have come together. Raritron down to P19. Is there any damage on the Alfa Romeo? Betch is having to take avoiding action as well there. There's a bit of chaos and carnage here. Early doors in Spain as the two Ferraris now down into 15th and 17th place. And that's not what the Scuderia would have wanted. However, that does help Jarmin up to P12. Frazzle, meanwhile, has got past his teammate. Let's go on board with Hayden Elite now, who is on the back of the Haas driver. In fact, let's have a quick look at Captain Frazzle here, because Frazzle is on the rear end of the Dark Mark. He's all over the back of him. He's gone for the more aggressive medium tyres to start with. And Dark Mark has got some good straight line speed in that Alpine, it would seem. And up ahead, we just saw Apex making the move on Big Perry. Through he goes. Baker Gaming has got ahead of Brannan. And Mad Mark ahead of Jarmin in the background as well. There's overtakes going everywhere. You see there in the background, Captain Frazzle has got the move done on the Dark Mark. So Frazzle now up to P6. Looking to try and make ground on the leaders. Meanwhile, Brannan and Baker Gaming battling for that P10 spot. And Baker Gaming just backs out of that one. And through goes Brannan into P10. We've got Gaming Minion is round. And he's got the polystyrene boards attached to the rear of his car there. They've got themselves off now. Good, you want to block those brake ducts. And and those hot rear tyres just giving him a little bit of trouble there. See who is eyeing up a move. It looks like Hayden Elite is still close to the back of Shotgun Kisses. In fact, further up, we've got Captain Frazzle looking for another move. She's picking off a couple of cars a lap at the moment. You see there, Apex already trying to break the toe behind. But here comes Captain Frazzle looking for a move. DRS wide open. And Brannan's out! Oh, in the pits. Brannan is out in the pits. So Brannan has retired in the pits. Shotgun Kisses has left the session. Baker Gaming, meanwhile, and Mad Mark having a good little scrap. So Mad Mark up to P10. I cannot keep up with anything that's going on here. Who left the session then? Who was it? It was Shotgun Kisses, wasn't it? Ah, bless me. Right, so Shotgun Kisses. Oh, I can't invite Shotgun. If there's an admin in the chat, can someone try and get Shotgun Kisses back in somehow? Meanwhile, Frazzle has made the move at the inside of Apex. He is picking them up one by one here, up to P4 now, and he's 4 seconds off the lead. Oh, no worries, Brannan. Yeah, I hope you're okay. I'm not sure whether it's damage or whether it's something personal, but yeah, hope you're doing good. Let's go a bit further back. Big Perry then closing onto the rear end of Apex. And already Apex's rear light flashing away. Jarmin down to P15. Looks like he's now struggling with that balance setup. He's got Raritron, his teammate, right behind him now. We're going to see a inter-team battle here at Alfa Romeo. So Captain Frazzler's now got himself to P4. Go after the front three. He's 3.5 seconds back from Find Waldo. Here comes Raritron. Does he go for the switcheroo? No, he doesn't. I thought he was going to go for that then. We'll stay on board. This is looking mighty tasty between the two Alfa Romeos. Both on hard tyres, so they're both on the same strategy. Went a little bit wide under that dirty F Ferrari in the background of A72. And oh, and a car in the background there. Betcher's running really wide. Manages to keep it on the black stuff though. Go a bit further up then because Big Perry has got the toe. He's got the Alpine behind him. Dark Mark did look to have quite a quick car in a straight line. But can Big Perry make a move here on Apex? He's going to go from the inside. Is he going to send it? Yes, he is. And there's contact. Little bit of contact there between the two, but it's all Robbins racing, as they say. And the two Alpines look on with their lips and see if they can do anything about the cars in front. So can Big Perry come again? It was a send and a half, a Daniel Ricciardo-esque send in a Daniel Ricciardo-esque car, and he's number 3. That was every bit Daniel Ricciardo, wasn't it? But of course it was just wheel on wheel, so no harm done. They're still all facing in the right direction, and I can't see any damage for anybody, which is good. So these four now separated by just 1.2 seconds. Apex, Big Perry, and then the two Alpines of Darkmark and Hayden Elite line astern at the moment. Captain Frazzler's taken half a second out of the top 3. He is slowly gaining on them. Just a second separates those guys. In fact, let's have a quick look because Fine Waldo has made that move on Paella Muncher and gets himself into P2. We have a yellow flag somewhere. That is Baker Gaming. So Baker Gaming has had a moment and he's in front of the two Alfa Romeos here. I think he's going to be pretty easy pickings at this point, although he does have DRS as well. And they're going to go, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear. Oh, dear, oh, dear. And both Alfa Romeos get Baker Gaming there. I thought Jarman was going to try and make that 3 wide then, which would have been interesting to say the least. Let's go back up to... Let's go and watch Hayden Elite. And see if he can do anything about the 3 guys in front of him. These guys at the moment are just following each other around. We'll go back and look at the Baker Gaming Alfa Romeo battle in a second, because it looks like Baker Gaming is caught back up to the rear end. Has Apex managed to break that 1 second barrier, or is the dark mark still there? Oh, he's still there. Oh no, it's Apex who's losing the 1 second of Big Perry, but he's managed to just stay in it. He is flashing, and here comes the dark mark now. He's gaining. I don't think he's going to be able to gain enough. No, not quite. And I think Apex might have lost the DRS there, actually, because he didn't gain any time on Big Perry ahead. And he's a second behind Big Perry now. So this battle of 4 may just have become a battle of 3. You've got A72 now, who's got ahead of Baker Gaming into turn 1. Nice move there from the Ferrari driver. In the same time, Raritron has got himself into P12 ahead of the Mercedes. The Mercedes is coming back here. Can he get himself back into P12 up the inside? Rara leaves him plenty of room. Good racing from the two of them. The Mercedes has come back, but now Rara's going to try and get back up the inside. Just a bit of a block pass there. Good racing from the two of them. And Raritron does finally get that P12 away from the Mercedes. Great battling from Raritron and Darth Timms there. And Jarman at the moment, is he going to be able to follow his teammate through? He's right on the rear end of the Mercedes. And the Mercedes just looking a little bit loose there. Let's have a quick look at Paella Muncher and find Waldo. Here comes Paella Muncher. He gets that move done. Captain Frazzle not been able to make too much inroads in the last few laps. He's gained another couple of tenths off them since the last time I saw the gap. But he's currently running P4. If we look at the gap to the leader, the 4-second penalty at the moment for Ali would drop him all the way down to P17. So that's what we'll keep our eye on. See where Ali will finish in this race. 9 laps gone. And there are gaps there. Like I said, he's already 15 seconds clear of P9. So if there's no safety cars, then he is looking good as Shotgun Kisses and Mad Mark go side by side through turn 4. And it is Shotgun Kisses that comes out on top. So the Haas driver gets P9. And Mad Mark runs really wide there. Shotgun Kisses hold on to P9 for now. Go board with Mad Mark, see if we can get him into the next DRS straight. DRS open. Is Mad Mark going to go for a send? No, he's not close enough at all there. That would have been optimistic to say the least. So Mad Mark currently sitting in P10. Look at positions gained at the moment. There we have it. So Captain Frazzle up 10 places. He's the biggest gainer. We've got a few drivers that are down 4. So YT, A72, Baker Gaming all down 4 spots. Raritron and Jarmin up 4 spots. The top 3 are as they were. Fastest lap at the moment held by Ali with a 14.8. Just a smidge faster than Paella Muncher. Darth Timms picks up our first penalty of the day with a 3-second time penalty. Let's go back to A72 now, who's on the back of Jarmin. Ali's actually managed to break the DRS of Paella Muncher and find Waldo behind, which has allowed Captain Frazzle to suddenly steam up to the back of those two. He's just 1.3 behind. He's taken a second out of them in the last lap, and Fine Waldo is trying desperately to hang on to the DRS of Paella Muncher. Here we are on board then with A72's Hayden Elite and Dark Mark have swapped positions there. I think looking at where they are on the track, that looks like a mistake somewhere from the Dark Mark. Oh, big slide, and well done to avoid that. Oh, and round he goes. There's chaos and carnage. Chaos and carnage. And unfortunately, Jarmin has been caught up on that. Just the yellow flag, though. Well, the Ferrari did well to avoid the spinning, I think it was or the sliding car. But then unfortunately just lost it on the curb in the gravel. That's a real shame there, and Jarmin caught up in it as well. We've got Apex now, who's back on the rear end of Big Perry. We'll go up to the battle for P3 in a minute because Find Waldo has lost the DRS of Paella Muncher and Captain Frazzle has got himself into that DRS. But Captain Frazzle on the charge. P15, he was where he qualified. Can he get himself onto the podium positions? Let's go on board with Captain Frazzle now. He's used a lot of his ERS to get to where he is. His DRS is wide open. He's closing on Find Waldo, but he's not going to be close enough. Let's go on board with Apex then. He is going to be close enough to make a move on Big Perry into turn 1. Gets that move done before the braking zone, and through goes the Red Bull drive. Red Bull's running 1st and 5th at the moment. Alpine's running 7th and 8th. But of course, Ali does have that 40-second penalty still to come. Meanwhile, Captain Frazzle is all over the back of the Alpha. Oh, he had a little look there. He thought about it, didn't he? He had a little think about just going for a send up the inside of Fine Waldo, but wasn't quite close enough to get the move done. If we move further back, we have Darth Timms all over the back of Raritron still. Darth Timms on the medium tyres, Raritron on the hard tyres. Hard tyres will be coming into the better working range now than the mediums, which will help Big Perry, of course, who's currently running P6. Let's go back up to the front then, because Captain Frazzle is almost pushing the AlphaTauri man through. trying to put him under as much pressure as humanly possible. I guess the big question now is, when are people going to start pitting? We're not far off the first pit stops. Betches, meanwhile, is already... so he was on the... Oh no, he's on the soft tyres, so he'll be pitting very soon, I imagine. And through goes Captain Frazzle into P3, and he can begin his charge off after Paella now. Meanwhile, the two Alpines swap places again as they try to close up to the rear end of Big Perry themselves. So what Fine Waldo needs to do is hang on to the back of Captain Frazzle so he can pull him towards Paella. And potentially that could turn into a four-way battle for the lead if he can hang on to the back of him, because Captain Frazzle looks like he's got a lot of pace here. But he's still 3.1 behind Ali, so he's not gained a lot of time on the race leader, but he has caught up Paella and Fine Waldo pretty quickly. So Big Perry is looking to try and get back ahead of TSD Apex there. He's got his DRS open. Can he make a move at the end of the DRS straight? Unless you're confident enough to pull away around the final few corners, you probably don't want to make a move there, to be honest. Now that you've lost that chicane, it's a very short ending to the lap, so you can't really pull away in time for the long DRS straight down the finish line. And there he goes, Big Perry. In fact, TSD Apex is into the pits. Captain Frazzle, meanwhile, has gone up the inside of Paella into turn 1 and gets that move done. Captain Frazzle from P15 up to P2 now, and can now set off after the leaders. Let's see where TSD Apex is going to come out of the pits here. There should be quite a nice gap for him to come out into here. As Apex and Elite have pitted together. I think Elite has actually caught up quite nicely there to the back of TSD Apex. He's only 9 tenths, sort of 8 tenths behind Apex, so good from Hayden Elite there as A72. Oh no, Betches into the pit, so he is finally coming off those soft tyres. We'll see what Gaming Minion can do here. Can he get ahead of Betches? That is the, I guess that's the next important question. And yes, he does quite comfortably actually ahead of Betches. Meanwhile, the leaders are all coming through, so who's going to be the first to blink of the leaders? It is Fine Waldo. So Fine Waldo going for the undercut, and around Spain, the undercut can be very powerful indeed. Fine Waldo screeching there his tyres as he locks up to try and get that speed down to the magic 49 mph mark. So see where he comes out. He's going to come out into some free air. I think he will come out behind Shotgun Kiss, but there's quite a nice gap for him to come out into there. Yep, filters in. Although, what's not ideal is the fact that on his outlap, he's going to have to try and catch and pass Shotgun Kiss. Paella has managed to hang on to the back of Captain Frazzle as well, so I wonder if the top three, if we'll see them pit now as well. As into the pits comes Darth Timms. He's gone onto some fresh hard tyres, and through goes A72 on those worn mediums. Meanwhile, Raritron has got himself ahead of Whitey. These two are battling quite hard actually. Let's go on board with this battle as Whitey gets back ahead. Sorry guys, I missed most of that battle. Just under 37 seconds needed for Ali. Well, Ali has come into the pits, as has Paella. Captain Frazzle opts to stay out, so he's going for the overcut. Up the inside goes Raritron and Whitey. Can he get the move to stick? No, he can't. The Ferrari hangs on there. Let's have a look and see where Find Waldo comes out then. So Find Waldo coming down the start-finish straight now. He's going to have DRS. Has he been held up by that Haas car? Is he going to be able to clear Paella? I don't think he is. I think he's lost a bit of time behind that Haas drive, but he is going to be on the... his tyres are going to be a lot warmer now. You can see Ali further up ahead, so Fine Waldo is just 0.3 of a second behind the Aston Martin of Paella. And if he wants to get this move done, he needs to get it done now while his tyres are still cold, and runs a little bit wide there, does Paella. You can both see Mad Mark further up ahead, so that's going to help Paella in giving him DRS. wide. He's struggling with the fronts of those tyres while they come to temperature. And here comes Find Waldo. There's a yellow flag. It's a Ferrari round. I think that's A72M. It is indeed. He's round. Let's have a quick look at A72M. And, oh, yes, there he is. Round he goes. It's a shame for A72M. Meanwhile, let's go back up to this battle here. Paella Muncher trying to push Mad Mark around, and Mad Mark's going to come into the pits. Captain Frazzle has stayed out. He is going for a much longer stint on those mediums. And here comes Find Waldo. Through he goes with the help of DRS. And Find Waldo into P5. Ali, meanwhile, 3.5 seconds further up the road. He's not had to do that battling. He's got himself some lovely free air. Meanwhile, into the pits comes Mad Mark. Who was he battling with before? I believe it was Jarmin. Oh no, Jarmin, not Jarmin. I can't remember who Mad Mark was battling, but either way, he's in the pits. Okay, so who are the battles we're watching at the moment? It is the Raratron train at the moment. Raratron, Apex, Hayden Lee, and Whitey. Dark Mark is up to stay out. Raratron will be doing Dark Mark a huge favour here if he can hold these guys up. Dark Mark 12 seconds behind Captain Frazzle at the moment. Perry there looks for a move on Dark Mark, looking at the timing screens. Ooh, a bit of a slide there in the background there from Apex, and Raratron holds on for another lap, and into the pits comes Big Perry. He's going for the undercut on the Dark Mark. And Ali sets the fastest lap of the race. He is just 16 seconds off the lead. Yellow flag then for the Ferrari, letting the Haas go through there. We've got Find Waldo and Paella Muncher swapping places again there. Quick gap to the leaders. And if you're looking at where Ali could potentially finish, 40 seconds to that will put him on 56 seconds off the leader, which is Darth Timms at the moment. So that is where we are with regards to Ali's race. Yellow flag, that is the Ferrari of A72 again. Round he goes. He's going to have some cars coming up to him very soon. He's missing his front wing now. He's going to have to get in his car into the pits. Going to have some very warm tyres. Oh, it's a safety car. We have a safety car. And Captain Frazzle has hit the jackpot, as has Dark Mark. Ali's going to be furious with that safety car. No one retired. It's a safety car for a broken front wing. And that has ruined Ali's race. Well and truly ruined it. He's not going to gain 40 seconds now. Into the pits comes Captain Frazzle. Dark Mark's going to follow him straight in. Ali's going to come into the pits. He's going to put on some medium tyres. If he's got any fresh mediums, I imagine. Captain Frazzle's gone onto soft tyres. What's Dark Mark going to go into? That is the question. Ali's in the pits. Find Waldo stays out. Paella Muncher stays out. Captain Frazzle, though, from P15 to P1 and on fresh soft tyres, he is going to be absolutely flying. Ali's gone on soft tyres. Dark Mark went on to fresh mediums. Apex is coming down now. Is he going to be able to get his teammate? It's going to be very close. No, he stays behind his teammate. Mad Mark is going to clear the two cars in front of him. Yes, he is. He goes to P9. Raratron has gone to fresh medium tyres and got out just ahead of the Ferrari of Whitey. Was that a potential unsafe release, as they say? Yeah, safety car then has been brought out, and that was caused by the spinning A72M, who unfortunately lost his front wing. So the stewards and the race director deeming it necessary to bring out the safety car to clear up the debris. We could have the safety car for a couple of laps still, you know, as there's plenty of spaces. And if you look at the interval to the leader, A72 is over a minute off the back at the moment, but I do believe he's a lap down. I think Betches is actually last on track, so if you're still in the chat, Woodsy, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe you're supposed to let lapped cars through. Is that right in our RRF1? So if anyone's watching this, remember to let lapped cars through. I thought so, yeah. So, guys, you need to go off the track and let the lapped cars through. Yes, just like that. Perfect. Just like what the AlphaTauri has done there. Yes, I guess it's kind of hard to let them through here, isn't it? Not really anywhere for them to go. A72 might have to be patient here. See, here would be a good place to let them through, but you've got to avoid getting a warning or a penalty. It's quite... Yeah, so who's that in front of him? That is... Yeah, so the Alpine needs to go off track. Yeah, you can see them all going off track. There we go. Perfect. Look at them all. Teamwork makes the dream work. Just remember not to steal a position when you're coming back on. And something has happened there between Big Perry and Hayden Elite. Okay, I think they've sorted themselves out. Oh, this has turned into a mess. This is why yeah, this is why this rule is probably a bit tricky at times, because if it doesn't work, you end up having this issue where you've got to keep letting people go, and Hayden Elite's been really unfortunate there, and I think Mad Mark may have to let him go back past somehow, to be fair. So Mad Mark, if you're watching this, I can't remember the exact order you're all in, but you may have to let Hayden back through. I'm sure Hayden was ahead of Mad Mark. I might be wrong. Mad Mark may have been ahead of him, but I'm sure Hayden was ahead of Mad Mark. Let's see how far through the pack A72 has got. Ah, there we go. So A72 is through and trying to catch back up to the back of the pack, as is Betches. So everyone is now on the lead lap. The only downside for A72 is he's sprinting round on soft tyres, which are going to die pretty quickly. He could have done with not being at full racing speed, to be honest. Ah, right, okay. So because Hayden didn't let him through, but the rest did, Hayden ended up getting... Right, I think I get it. Like I say, it's a rule where if you've got to come through the whole of the pack, if one person doesn't follow the rule, which I know it's tricky, it's not easy to get out of the way, but if one person doesn't follow the rule, it can cause this sort of illegal overtake situation, which can frustrate a lot of people. You know, what the F1 game needs to release in the next game is the whole lapped cars may overtake rule, so that leagues like this don't have to try and sort of manufacture their own rule just so that lapped cars can actually get back onto the lead lap. But yeah, well done everybody. A72 has the safety car is in this lap, and A72 has managed to catch up. He's about 40 seconds behind the lead now, so he's from being a full lap down on the entire field. He's now, at least he's back on the lead lap. He's not going to catch up in time, of course. He's still a good 30 seconds off the lead, but with how slow these guys are going, he could gain quite a bit of time on them. So we'll stay on board with we'll go on board with Fine Waldo. So when will Captain Frazzle go? He's not going yet. Paella Muncher is ready to go. Paella Muncher has gone with him. Ali has had a really good restart. He's just a tenth and a half behind the dart mark. Here we go. The speed of the Red Bull. He's going to pull to the outside. He's going to get that move done before turn one, and through goes Ali ahead of the dart mark. Jarman has also got the move done on Whitey. And you can see there that A72 has managed to catch up. He's just 11 seconds off the back of the pack now when he was a full lap down. So good effort there from everyone to get him back on to the lead lap. White there having a little look up the inside as Apex has a look at Big Perry. I think Mad Mark has let Hayden go back past. Oh, no, they're just battling. They're side by side. Got back onto that one at the right time, didn't I? Oh, Mark did let Hayden go back through. Okay, and then okay, yeah, good driving there from Mad Mark. Whitey's got ahead of something's happened to Shotgun Kisses. So Shotgun Kisses has gone backwards, and Betch is doing some off-roading there, and Darth Tim's going backwards as well. So plenty of action on this restart. Captain Frazzle, meanwhile, has gained 8 tenths on Find Waldo on just the opening lap. Remember, he's on the soft tyres. Big Perry picks up a 3-second time penalty. Further back, Ali has got ahead of Paella Muncher. So Paella Muncher down to P4 in that Aston Martin. Here comes Mad Mark around the outside of Hayden Leak, gets the move done. And Raratron is going to try and get this move done. No, not quite close enough. Raratron had a little nosy, but no room at the end, says Hayden Elite. He's on the hard tyres. But Raratron looking to go up around the outside now. A lovely little switcheroo from the Alfa Romeo driver and drives right round the outside. It's a lovely move from Raratron. We have a yellow flag somewhere. That is Whitey who has spun. And that is now both Ferraris in 17th and 18th place. Ah, good. Good sportsmanship, that's what we like to see. So moving further back up the field, we've got Dark Mark now on the back of Paella Muncher. Anyone that went onto the medium tyres is going to have a big advantage towards the end of this race, I think. Captain Frazzle and Ali, they're going to be the ones that will struggle at the end, but if they can break DRS, and that's a wide run there from the Aston Martin of Paella Muncher. Dark Mark goes through as Captain Frazzle sets the fastest lap, and we do have DRS now enabled. Big Perry goes for a big send and up the inside of Paella Muncher. Paella Muncher struggling on those hard tyres now. He's trying to come back up the inside, gets the move down. That's a lovely move there. Brilliant way to come back. And Paella Muncher says, if you're going to come past me, you're going to have to earn it. I am. And we have a retirement in the pits there. That is Shotgun Kisses, who's retired in the pits. So he may have picked up some damage. We have a yellow flag there. A few guys in the pits, Gaming Minion, Whitey. A72 has managed to catch up to... A72 is now in 14th place, and he's actually got the move done on Betches there as well. So A72 up to P13 after being a full lap down. Meanwhile, Big Perry has got back ahead of Paella Muncher. Up into the top 5. Both AlphaTauris in the top 5 now. See there, Big Perry trying to break the toe of Paella Muncher. And Find Waldo further up ahead, has been passed by the Dark Mark. Dark Mark now up into the podium positions on those medium tyres and looking very strong. Meanwhile, Mad Mark has got ahead of TSD Apex and up to P7. He's making a sudden late charge in this race. The Williams man looking really strong in the final part of this race. At the moment, we have another safety car. Well, you were guessing Ali's P17 as it stands. 100% he'll be P17 as it stands now because there's another safety car. And Ali is going to be livid with this. And I tell you what this does do. So these soft tyre runners, those tyres are not going to be good to the end of this race. I mean, they may last to the end, but they're not going to be good at the end. Meanwhile, Big Perry is ahead of Paella Muncher. It said he overtook him there, but we're under safety car conditions, so maybe that was just a game glitch. So is anybody going to pit? That is the question. So Ali, who needed 40 seconds, remember, to try and gain some good points here tonight for Red Bull and himself. The second safety car is pretty much paid to that. So Captain Frazzle is staying out. What will Ali do? Ali is also staying out. Dark Mark tries to sell the dummy on Find Waldo, and Find Waldo comes into the pits. Big Perry stays out. Paella Muncher stays out. Mad Mark is coming into the pits, so he's going for a late charge. Oh, he has a lot of cars pitting. That's quite a smart move from Find Waldo then, because a lot of cars are pitting. What's Baker Gaming going to do? He's pitting. A72 is pitting. Betches is pitting. They're all piling into the pits. The top 5 have all stayed out. Everyone else behind is pitting. Mad Mark goes on to some fresh soft tyres. And he's going to be in P7. Raratron manages to come out just ahead of the Alpine in what is the second unsafe release from Alfa Romeo. Sort your heads out, Alpha. So, Fine Waldo then is looking to be in a pretty good position. Depends how long the safety car is out for. But he's looking pretty strong now. He's got to make his way past a few cars, but they're all going to be on pretty worn tyres. Dark Mark looking very good. 7-lap-old mediums, they're going to be nicer to drive on than those 7-lap-old softs now. I tell you what, just as unpredictable as qualifying was, the race is equally unpredictable, because I cannot sit here now and confidently tell you who the top 3 are going to be, let alone who's going to win. I couldn't even predict the podium right now, because Captain Fraz and Ali are on worn softs, Dark Mark and Big Perry on worn mediums, Paolo Muncher on worn hards, everybody else on fresh softs, apart from Darth Tims and White who've done a lap on theirs, but everyone behind from 6 downwards are on the best tyre to be on right now, which are fresh softs. There will be 7 laps to go when they come across the line, 6 laps when the safety car comes in, which means we'll have 3 laps without DRS, 3 laps with DRS. Could we potentially see a Waldo Madmark Raritron podium? That'd be a very entertaining podium. So let's look at positions gained then. Where are they? There they are. Positions gained. So Captain Frazzle up 13. It's been a really good drive from Captain Frazzle so far, but not pitting may have been a mistake at that point. With him on 7 or 8 lap old softs now. You've got Raritron up 8 places from P16. He's a good shout for driver. He's just been plucking away at the positions. He has been involved in an incident that wasn't completely not his fault, but he got caught up in it. I think it was him, one of the Alfa Romeos anyway. TSD Apex down 6, but he's on fresh tyres. Jarmin up 7 and on fresh tyres and on a balanced setup, so good effort there from Jarmin so far. Then you've got Whitey down 9 places. A72, if you remember, was a full lap down to the entire field. He's now into P13 and on fresh softs. Fast lap at the moment is Captain Frazzle, but that will probably go now as we're on lesser fuel and a whole host of cars on fresh softs. But they've got to get it way through before they can use the pace of those soft tyres. Back to catching up to the rear end of the pack now. Tell you what, Find Waldo's going to be entertaining to watch on the restart. Safety car in this lap. Let's go on board with Find Waldo. He has Paella Muncher on worn hards. I'm not sure why Paella Muncher hasn't pitted, to be honest, because it would have been perfect for Paella Muncher to pit. I think that's a big strategy error there. And almost coming to a stop there as Captain Frazzle is waiting to go. A very slow restart this from Captain Frazzle. Ali, you can see there waiting to try and go with him. And I think they've gone. They have gone. And look at the extra grip he's got. He's already going to be on the attack. And Ali is... Oh, big crash! Big crash on the restart. Huge crash. I'm not going to lie, I actually jumped out of my skin. And oh! And then Alfa Romeo's been absolutely totaled. That is Jarmin. There is chaos and carnage everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Something's happened to Mad Mark. Mad Mark's going backwards. Oh, and Mad Mark's made a spin. Oh, and he'd gained from that initially. Paella Muncher's been disqualified. What has happened on that restart? Not going to lie, absolutely jumped out of my skin. Jarman has left the session. Shotgun has retired in the pits there. He's left the session. Paella Muncher's disqualified from the session. Where is Paella Muncher? Yeah, he's gone down. That's going to need quite a few different point of views to look what happened. That reminded me, if you remember, a few years ago under COVID, when they were at Mugello on a safety car restart, and there was just chaos down the start-finish straight. But that one had actually gone, so I wonder if a couple of cars got locked together and it's just caused absolute chaos. So Raritron now on those fresh softs. Find Waldo. We do have another safety car, and I'm not surprised because we saw the Alfa Romeo coming through at speed and just half the car just got destroyed. Hit one of the standstill cars, and that is what's brought out the safety car. But Fine Waldo, I mean, he was looking in the best position with those fresh tyres. And unfortunately, he's going to have to pit now because he's going to be missing a front wing. Into the pits he comes. We're going to have quite a few in the pit, I'd imagine. Yeah, Betchers, Gaming Minion, Fine Waldo. I'm surprised there are more into the pits, actually. Captain Frazzle has avoided it. Dark Mark has avoided any damage. Can't see... Yeah, that was my reaction, Tom. But what I will say, I was busy watching on board with Fine Waldo, and the cars just came at my screen. I actually jumped out of my skin. Like, it actually made me jump, seeing the cars fly into my face. I'm sat quite close to my screen right now, and that was... I mean, I can't even imagine what colour Fine Waldo's boxer shorts are right now. And Jarmin, our thoughts and prayers go out to you and your family, because I'm not sure you survived that one. I'm not going to lie. I think you may have lost some legs. Some legs? How many legs? 2 legs. Both legs. The legs. Anywho. Bit crazy. No idea what caused it. Oh, you can't... Oh, dear. So you got stuck. Ah, unlucky. That is unlucky. You know, every time I commentate on this, it's always a great race. It's always something crazy. Something absolutely insane. Oh, yeah, your car... You died. Yeah, you died. So, safety car still not in, so we will have another lap. So we'll only have 1 lap of DRS. This has really helped the top 4 here. Raratron, meanwhile, on 3-lap-old softs, is going to have to go for it. He could come away with a podium here after starting from, what, P16, I think it was? After not setting a lap in qualifying. Just make sure nothing's kicking off in Discord after that, because that was quite the... It was interesting. Tell you what, this new Discord update has absolutely fecked my Discord. I'll click on a channel, but it brings up the old channel I was just in, and I have to keep closing the app down just to get it to work. Captain Frazzle used his wheel, but his controller was on. And... Oh, film... Oh, no. Oh, so he's accidentally brake checked the entire field. Glad I'm not a steward. Safety cars in this lap. We're going to go on board with the mighty Raratron in his Las Vegas inspired helmet. P5 at the moment, but he is currently sitting in the money seat. 4-lap-old soft tyres, but he's only going to get 1 lap of DRS. He's going to have to make moves into the corners with the extra grip. Big Perry on 12-lap-old mediums, maybe a bit tricky to get past. But then Ali and Captain Frazzle, they're going to be on 11-lap-old softs. Now, when does Captain Frazzle go this time? Hopefully he's got hold of his control and doesn't fall on the floor this time. And he doesn't brake check. Oh, he's gone already. He has gone. Let's hopefully no one crashes and makes me jump this time. We've got moves going up ahead. We've got Ali side by side with the Dark Mark. Ali going for P2, so he gets his car back up ahead. Meanwhile, Raratron is looking for a move on Big Perry. Unable to get it done. Oh, and a bit of a slide there from Raratron. That won't help him, but he's got the extra grip. Can he drive right around the outside? He's going to go for a switchback here. He's going to get done. This is going to be a lovely move if he gets this one done. Going for the switchback. He's going to have better grip on his tyres. He should be able to... Oh, good. Well done on the brakes there from Big Perry, I have to say there. I thought for sure Raratron was going to get that move done. Further back, we've got a battle going on here. Gaming Minion. Oh, bit of a slide there from Gaming Minion. We've got Fine World up the inside of Dartmouth. That's going to be a bold move. That was very... I tell you what, that is not a place to make a move usually. but he went for it, and then Mad Mark ran a bit wide, and then Mad Mark tries to hang it in there and gets it stopped and hangs on to the position. Well done from Mad Mark. Mad Mark hangs on to P12 for now. He'll be frustrated because after that incident, he may have been looking at a potential podium, and then I'm not sure he got tapped or he lost it, but he was facing the wrong way after turn 1 and 2. Let's go back on board with Raritron here, who's not been able to make any moves so far on the front 4, but he has the grip. You can see he's got the grip. Can he get himself onto that podium? Oh, a bit of a slide there from Big Perry. Raritron's going to try and go for the switch back here, but he's not able to quite get it done. Great defending there from Big Perry. He's having to do everything he can to try and hang on to this place, so he is carrying a penalty, of course. Oh, ran a little bit wide there, did Big Perry. All this battling is really helping the front 3. Well, Ali will drop down, so if Raritron, I think, will come away with the podium still here. Meanwhile, Mad Mark has just made a move on... Oh, there's cars everywhere. Here we go. There's contact there. There's a Ferrari into Mad Mark. Mad Mark, oh! Goes off the track and then into the side of the Mercedes. And Mad Mark is going to be pretty mad at that one. And round he goes! Mad Mark round! His return to RF1 was looking so strong and so good. But it's gone from bad to worse for Mad Mark. The granddad of RF1 is facing the wrong way and down to P15. What was looking so positive for him, a freak accident has unfortunately not helped him on the restart, and he's down to P15 following a couple of incidents since then. Meanwhile, Raritron is finally ahead of Big Perry. We missed that while watching that battle. What can Raritron do about Dark Mark? Can he get himself ahead of the Dark Mark and into what is effectively a net P2? A second place finish for Raritron. He's got cars lining up behind him. This is the battle for P2, remember, because Ali has that 40-second penalty. Betch is ahead of Gaming Minion, and they're going to come across the line. Captain Frazzle wins a crazy race. Ali P2 on track, Dark Mark P3, Rara P4, Hayden a late 5th. Apex 6, Big Perry dropping down to 7th. Baker Gaming 8th ahead of A72, Darth Tim's P10. But gets beaten on penalty count by Whitey. Betches P12, Gaming Minion P13. Find Waldo will be a frustrated Find Waldo because he was in a great position to potentially win this race after the strategy call to box for fresh softs. And then a freak accident where Captain Frazzle has dropped his controller, causing him to brake. It's caused a cataclysmic chain reaction of domino effect. Meant we've had some incidents. Yeah, Ali, I don't know if you've heard, but I don't know how it works with stewards when it's a controller drop, but yeah, so Captain Frazzle has dropped his controller, or it's fell on the floor, or whatever's happened, and he's hit the left trigger, and he's on wheel, so it's caused him to brake in a straight line, which I can imagine nobody wants to do when you're leading a race. So, yeah, just one for the stewards. I don't know how stewards look at things like that, because a freak accident. We will try and get some people into the chat, into the comms. So we'll invite the winner, Dark Mark and Raritron. Those are effectively your top 3. For those that have just joined, of course, Ali carrying that 40-second penalty, so it does drop down. So Captain Frazzle is your winner. Ali second on track, but will drop down with the 40-second penalty. Dark Mark then is promoted to P2 ahead of Raritron. That is your podium. Hayden Leet ahead of Apex, Big Perry, Baker Gaming, A72, Whitey, Darth Tim's, Betches, Gaming Minion, and then Fine Walder, who was really unlucky on that restart, and then Mad Mark, who may be rather mad where his race was potentially going. Jarmin then unfortunately DNF'd as he got stuck. Shotgun Kisses again DNF'd, Brandon DNF'd, and Pielemans DNF'd. Well, unpredictable Q1, unpredictable Q2, unpredictable Q3, and an equally unpredictable race has meant we have a winner, Captain Frazzle. Darkmark will finish P2 after Ali's penalty, and Rarichon, my driver of the day, kept out of trouble in the second half of the race, made his way through, did the good strategy call into the safety car, gets himself onto the podium in the end. We will start. Is he in? Yeah, you're all in. We'll start with Mr. Rarichon. So after Ali's 40-second penalty, you do finish on the podium. How was that one for you?
Yeah, it was good. It was a good race. Just coming through the field, I felt like I made some really nice moves around there. Potentially getting a penalty though. After Stuart's inquiry, after a little tap with Whitey during the first part of that Grand Prix, half spun him, and he lost a couple of positions. So I'm fully expecting a clip in there. But that aside, it was a really enjoyable race. Like I said, made some nice moves, had some really good battles, and yeah, it was just a question of staying consistent, and I felt like I did that.
I did catch a couple of your overtakes. Every time I seem to commentate, you do seem to pull a sort of a switch back or a move around the outside. You're sort of the overtaking king whenever I'm streaming, so it's always a great watch. I think there may be quite a few penalties in that race, so you may yet still finish on the podium. So the stewards might be quite busy.
I hope so. That'd be nice. I've not had a podium in a while.
Moving on to our champion, and second place at the moment, but the final result is as unpredictable as qualifying in the race. So I won't talk about the crazy safety car restart. I've read what happened with the controller. I'm sure Captain Frazzle will mention that in a second. But P2 at the moment. How was that one?
Yeah, it was a good race. Obviously, my main focus now is the Red Bulls. I knew Ali obviously has got a penalty hanging over him from last week. So my race effectively was with Apex and trying to make sure I beat him. And it was also a race of trying to sort of just egg on my teammate and try and keep his head clear and give him some advice as I was going to try and help him out. And I mean, Hayden, being fairly new, he's not even been league racing for a month. And after Stewart's inquiries, he could end up with a podium tonight, and that's a wicked result for him. So I made up for him.
I really want Hayden to have a full-time seat. He's such a good driver.
And the other thing I will say is Darth Tim's actually finished the race.
Woo!
Yeah, no, honestly, good racing. Had a bit of a battle through that race with Perry. Bit of a battle with Waldo and Paella as well. Yeah, it was just a good race, to be fair.
Well, I mean, yeah, it was a cracking. I mean, it was one of those races where every time I seem to stream at the moment, it's an extremely entertaining race, but there's always something insane that carnage sort of beggars belief.
Or as Gunners calls it, garnish.
Yeah, it's been a season of firsts for me with what I've seen streaming, and I've never watched a stream intently watching Find Waldo and then jumped out of my skin when 3 cars appeared and chaos ensued on that safety car restart, which was scary. I can't imagine what Waldo was thinking.
I've got no idea. As I say, I'm sure Frazzle will try and shed some light on that in a minute.
And then I just have to say, R.I.P. to Jarmin. His Alfa Romeo got absolutely totaled in that. That is one of the biggest crashes I've seen from a particular car. That I think half the car disappeared. So thoughts and prayers out to Jarmin's family. But yeah, cracking drive. We'll see where you finish once Stewards have finished with whatever definitely they finish with. And we'll move on to our race winner, Mr. Frazzle. Incredible pace. I mean, you had taken, I think, 2 or 3 cars a lap at one point. And then you caught up, did your thing. The safety car was perfect for you. You went on to your softs. And then you had some fun with the controller. How was the race for you?
I don't even know. To start with, I don't even know what I was doing in Q1. Just decided to go out and bin in a wall, really. So that was that. And then, lap 1 was really good. And then when everyone else pitted, I stayed out on the mediums. I was going to pit for the softs later anyway, and then the safety car came, so that was good. And then after that safety car restart, I went round the corner, yanked my controller off the desk with my headset wire, and it smashed the brake up when it hit the floor. So I was then driving with one hand, trying to pick my controller back up and put my microphone back in the controller at the same time, and that's when all the carnage happened. So...
It was entertaining and scary for me to watch. I imagine there's a few
as
changes
soon as it
underway
happened,
needed.
I thought, oh god, what's going to happen behind me? Then I looked, and I thought, oh Jesus,
Yeah,
Skill issue.
what have I caused? I was, ugh. But
News
apart from
just
that, it was a
in,
good
the
race.
stewards have intervened and made the Alpine the winner here today.
Being manipulated, man.
Honestly,
But other than that, it was a brilliant drive. Like I said, from the mistake in qualifying to come back through, win the race on track at least.
yeah.
I have no idea how stewards look at things like that, because it's not like you've brake checked anyone, you've dropped your control. I don't know how that works. I've never seen that before.
One-handed.
But yeah, brilliant drive from all of you. Where are we next week? I don't know how many races are left.
I'll find out for you. 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds.
1.
Season
I
calendar.
hate this
We
new
are in
Discord. It's stupid.
Miami.
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 Where the me's at Miami.
Oh,
Is it
So
Miami?
what's your?
I don't know if it is Miami. Is it Miami? Yeah, it is.
It is Miami.
Yeah, it's Miami. No, because obviously we had a race
Woodsy's
around
confirmed
Vegas,
it
didn't we?
in chat. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is Miami.
Yeah, it's Vegas, I
Um,
think, on Saturday,
yeah.
next Saturday, but it is Miami for the weekday next week.
Okay. So Miami next. What are your guys' thoughts on the city that is constantly sunny and never sleeps? Yes.
I don't like Miami.
It's another street circuit. It's going to be another clusterfuck.
Why can I hear myself?
I don't know.
Oh, I can't now. That's fine. Yeah, Miami. I've not done Miami on this game for a long time,
Yeah,
but
I don't like it.
Yeah, yes, tricky track. Mr. Frazzle, Mr. Speedster, are you back for next week?
Potentially, yeah. I mean, I'm at uni at the moment, and because I've got no lectures this week, I can race. I didn't have any work
okay.
to do, so
Lectures aren't
I potentially. Well, no, I'm going home Friday, thank God. So.
No, well, brilliant drive from all of you. Good to be back. I will make sure that I'm back for next week as well. Wednesday, of course, you've got the Wednesday division back with Gunners, same time, 8:30, for their turn to take on the Pain of Spain. And then you have the lovely 100%ers that I pussied out of, taking on Saturday 100%. And then, of course, it is Miami next week. So thank you all for tuning in. As mentioned, my drive today is Rarachon. No idea who the winner is. Don't even know what the podium looks like. It is a mystery, and we will catch you all on Wednesday.